Hi, this is the Ridge Runner with another Pine Home preparedness moment. Now I'm starting out here. The next few of these are going to be, well, they're almost directed at a friend of mine who's just getting into prepping, and I wanted to make sure she was able to benefit from these things. I started sending her little bursts of videos, and I realized there's a lot of people out there who probably are just getting into it, and they want to know where to start. Now, my reviews here are going to be, my videos here from now on are going to be very gear heavy. I'm going to center on things that are inexpensive for people who don't have a lot of money to start out, but they want to be able to become better prepared. Now, one of the things that happens a lot is people will buy a lot of food, and they really don't have a way to heat it or cook it. And cooking food is very important, especially in a survival situation, because cooking removes a lot of the bad things in it, the bacteria and stuff like that that would ordinarily make food not, edible, or make you really, really sick. The first thing you want to look at is obviously your canned food. It just tastes better when you eat it and warm. You can mix a bunch of things together, like you take a can of beef stew and you mix it with your canned food, and or mix it with your rice rather, and it makes it last longer. So if you got a lot of kids or whatever, and you want to make sure your food lasts, well, a 25-pound bag of rice makes cans of beef stew and whatnot go a lot farther. So let's get started. This is, I already have this set up because I did the burst thing there, but hold on. This is this is a butane stove. Now, I know a lot of people who have watched these things before have probably already seen them, but this is for new people, so we're going to get started with that. Butane stoves are really, really good for indoor use. They're specifically safe for indoor use. And you can buy them at Walmart, and I got this one at an Asian market for about $15, and they go from about $15 to $25, depending on where you look for them. And they take these are like, as I say, it's a butane gas cartridge right on it. Looks like a spray paint can. And that's pretty much what it is. But instead of having a sprayer on it, it has this, which I think they have them on spray paint cans too, and you just have a little thing on it. Well, you want to put one of those on this. And you see the little notch right here? You can see my fingernail right there. That engages with a part of the stove itself. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go over there and we're going to look at one of the other ones. This is a brand new one. I got one that's half empty. I don't want to mess around with a new one. So, let's start out this way. Alright. What you do is, here's the same thing. Alright, and you can see that notch. Alright. What you do is you place it into the stove, and you want to align that notch so that it aligns with this little flappy thingy here. I'm sure there's a proper term for it. We're not going to use that today. Today it's the floppy thingy. Alright, then simply depress this here, and that pushes it and charges the stove. The stove is now ready to be fired up. Now, the good thing about these stoves, they have something called a piezoelectric starter, which is kind of like what you'll see on certain cigarette lighters. But what it does is it makes it so you don't have to use a match to start this up. Simply put the cartridge in, and it's going to be on high when you first start, so you'll bring it down. And then, just to give you an idea, this is a number 5 cast iron skillet, and it fits pretty well on there. I know, it's not one of my new ones, it's one I actually have to season still. But for the purposes of this, it gives you an idea of the size. Now, the good thing about these cast iron skillets is that they retain the heat a lot longer. So what you do is you can bring the temperature up like that. Alright, let's get it up to hot. And then from there, okay, say I waited 5 minutes and it's hot. I can bring it right down to a much lower temperature, and it will maintain the higher temperature for a lot longer, which means I don't have to use as much fuel. Alright, but this fuel burns very clean. There's no particular odor, and it lasts a long time. I've been able to do a lot of cooking on one cylinder, so I hope that helps you out. There are other kinds of stoves. There are ones very similar to this that use propane. Everything from ones that you could fit in a backpack to something that will, will take up most of your back seat. And uses the larger 1 pound propane cylinders. Now in our next episode, I'm going to go through a little bit about how to make one of those 1 pound propane cylinders last longer. And we'll go through our modifying an old white gas stove into a propane stove. And it's really simple. But for now, I will have to say I'd love to have you check out woodlandsurvival.com. Of course, like and subscribe to woodlandsurvival.com or Pine Home on our YouTube channel, which you're watching right now. And of course, head on over to our Facebook page. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Myself, Rick, and Joe, we always try to post certain things on there to make things interesting. And you can feel free to add to the conversation yourself. There's also a group connected to it. So anyway, have a good day. This is the Ridge Runner signing off.